This has been the hardest week of my entire life. Um, I don't say that because I want people to feel sorry for me. I don't say it because I want anybody to give me any attention. I say it because this week forced me to face a pain that I've spent most of my life trying to avoid. I felt angry. I felt rejected. I felt misunderstood. I felt completely alone, quite frankly. Even when I was standing in a house full of people, the family that I've built and that I love more than anything in this world, I still felt like I was just by myself. I heard words that cut deeper than I thought words could cut. I had moments where my chest felt heavy, my mind wouldn't slow down, and I honestly didn't know what I was supposed to do next. There were moments where I wanted to run. I wanted to pack my things, get in my truck, and say, the hell with it all. I wanted to leave before anybody else had the chance to tell me that I wasn't wanted. That's what I've done before. It was easy for me to do that. The hard part was coming to the realization that something's got to change. I don't know if this is where it's supposed to lead, but as I take this journey, I think that everybody should at least give it a shot. When life becomes painful, when I feel rejected, or when I'm losing control, a part of me wants to disappear. It wants to protect me by convincing me that leaving first will hurt less than being left. But I'm starting to understand right now that that's a pattern. It's an old pattern. And I can't keep repeating old patterns while claiming to become a better man or a new man. So this time I stayed. I didn't stay because everything was okay. I didn't stay because I knew what was next. And I didn't stay to argue, defend myself, or force anyone to forgive me. I stayed because I love my family. But more importantly, I stayed because the man I'm becoming doesn't abandon himself or others when life gets hard. For a long time, I believed strength meant fighting back. I believed strength meant explaining myself until somebody finally understood my side. I thought being strong meant proving that I wasn't wrong, making sure my voice was heard, and refusing to let anyone get the last word. But this week taught me something different. Sometimes strength is recognizing that your anger is covering up something much deeper. Pain, fear, shame. The fear of losing your family, the fear of not being chosen, the fear that no matter how much you change, the people you hurt may never trust that change. That's a difficult truth to sit with. I've made mistakes in life, real mistakes. I've hurt people I love. I haven't always been the husband or the father that my family deserved. There were times when my anger controlled me. There were times when my words caused damage. There were moments when I allowed my own pain to become an excuse for causing pain to somebody else. I can't change those moments. I can't rewrite the past just because I'm ashamed of it now. And changing today doesn't automatically erase what happened yesterday. That's one of the hardest lessons that I had to learn. One of the hardest lessons that I had to accept. I can apologize, go to therapy, learn new tools, and work every day to control my emotions. But I cannot decide how quickly another person heals. I cannot demand forgiveness, and I cannot pressure anybody into trusting me again. All I can control is what I do next. That means when I'm angry, I have to slow down. When I feel rejected, I have to resist the urge to attack or disappear. When I feel misunderstood, I have to remember that explaining myself is not always the same thing as taking accountability. And when everything inside me wants to react, I have to breathe and choose the kind of man I want to be. That sounds simple. Sounds simple until you're in the middle of the storm. Until the person you love says something that feels like a punch to the chest. Until your children are watching. Until the old version of you is screaming, defend yourself, fight back, make them understand. That's when change becomes real. Change isn't proven when life is peaceful and everybody is treating you the way you want to be treated. Change is proven when you're hurt, angry, rejected, and afraid, and you still choose not to become destructive. This week I wasn't perfect. There were moments when I was overwhelmed, moments I got caught in my feelings, moments when I wanted somebody to recognize how badly I was hurting. But I kept trying to come back to myself. I kept reminding myself to stay steady. I kept reminding myself that the boys are watching. Not because I expect them to choose sides, but because they're learning from the way I handle adversity. They're watching whether strength means intimidation or self-control. They're watching whether love's become an excuse to possess somebody or a reason to respect their choices and boundaries. They're watching whether accountability is something I only talk about or something I'm willing to live. I want my sons to know that a man can admit when he's wrong without believing that he's worthless. I want them to understand that having emotions doesn't make them weak, but hurting other people because they cannot manage those emotions is not acceptable. I want them to see that sometimes the bravest thing a man can do is tell the truth about himself, the whole truth, not just the parts that make him look good. I don't know what will happen with my marriage. I want it to survive. I want healing. I want peace inside my home. I want the bullshit, resentment, fear, and the constant battles to finally end. But love cannot be forced. A marriage cannot be rebuilt by one person demanding that the other person participate. And real change cannot depend on whether I receive the outcome I want. If I only become a better man because I believe it will win my wife back, then I'm not truly changing. I'm making a deal. My growth has to be real, even if the future looks different from what I hoped it would look like. That realization hurts. But it also gives me direction. Today, my responsibility is not to control the ending. My responsibility is to live with integrity, to be consistent, to be present for my children, to respect boundaries, to take responsibility for the harm I cause without accepting responsibility for the things that aren't mine, to stop confusing being heard with being right, to listen more carefully, to speak more thoroughly. And when I make another mistake, because I'm human, to acknowledge it, repair what I can, and keep moving forward. This has been the hardest week of my life, but I'm still here. I'm still working. I'm still breathing. I'm still learning how to sit with pain and not let it control me. I'm not running from my past, but I'm also not allowing my past to become a life sentence. And I am more than the fear that tells me that I will never be chosen. Maybe strength isn't always fighting harder. Maybe strength is standing still when every part of you wants to run. Maybe strength is controlling your hands, your voice, and your emotions when your heart feels completely out of control. This week tested everything I thought I knew about love, marriage, fatherhood, accountability, and forgiveness. It hurt me. It humbled me. And it revealed the places inside of me that still need healing. But it did not destroy me. And it revealed the places that definitely need work. This will not be remembered as the week I lost control. It will not be remembered as the week I ran away and did the same thing over and over again. And it'll not be remembered as the week I gave up on myself. This was the week I stood inside the storm and finally understood that becoming a better man is not about being perfect. It's about making a better choice in the next moment, and the next moment, and the next moment, and then doing it again and again and again the moment after that. This has been the hardest week of my life. And maybe, just maybe, it'll also be the week that reveals who I am truly capable of becoming. I just want everybody to remember there's a couple things, really. One of the biggest things is people are going to forgive in their own time, in their own way. Instead of you putting pressure on them, forgive yourself. You just got to do it. Just got to do it. We can all do it, and I believe that you can do it. You just got to do it. One decision, one page, one voice at a time.